Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here on this Manic Monday with 90 Day Oy Vey. There is a new 90-day spinoff on the horizon. And yes, I already have spoilers because you know where you come for the tea. And it looks like there's a war brewing in the 90-day universe. Greg from this season versus Big Ed. Ugh. Okay, so first of all, I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Hi, Rosanna. Hi to my trusty moderator, Menopausal Queen. Hi, Laura Lynn. Hi, Spooky Trash. Hi, Kimberly. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Um, I I'm doing this a little late tonight because, of course, I was running behind today, as usual. Then I had to take a little siesta. And by the time I woke up from my siesta, I said, let me just do this after the tell all so all you guys could watch it. Hi, Papalian Purple. Hi, Jessie B. Hi, Lindsay. Um, yeah, so let's hop right into this, okay? Because first of all, my question is, why is Ed still around? Okay. Like, shouldn't he go away already? Why is he on pillow talk with Kalani? And why is there a war brewing now between Ed and Greg? Because Ed just won't fucking go away. Like, please. So, hi Sherry. Thank you for joining me. So let's get right into this. Have I mentioned how much I love Miss Lucille? I love her. She is such a New York mom, Long Island, New York strong. I mean, she fucking cracks me up. Her facial expressions fucking make me laugh. Her non-tolerance for Joan's culture, on the other hand, I'm like, but her son's a bum. Let's just put it out there. Her son is a lazy bum, and she enables him. Yes, she does. But I love her attitude. I love her personality. Okay, and she cracks me up. Yes, she does. She cracks me up. Matt, on the other hand, always has that stupid look on his face. You guys know what look I'm talking about. So, moving on, Greg versus Ed. Yes, you are absolutely right, Kimberly. Ed is featured now on the 90 Day Official Instagram page where he reacts to clips from this current season of the show. Like, we give a fuck about what his reaction is. Okay, honestly. Hi, Deirdre. Thank you for joining me. Who gives a shit what he thinks about this current season? Well, anyway, he was reacting to a clip from last night's show where Greg's mom is commenting on the number of showers that Joan takes a day and how she doesn't understand why she takes a shower at night and then takes one in the morning. Like, how dirty can the bed be? And basically, Ed was on Miss Lucille's team on this one, but his comments were really unnecessary. Okay. He's like making fun of Greg, making fun of Joan. It's like, listen, dude, nobody gives a fuck what you think. Hi, Cree. Thank you for joining me. So Greg took to threads, okay, and said, now I got to look out for this guy. What the heck? What a joke. Let me get the jar of mayo. Big Ed, she owns the house. No rent, just property tax, which is quite a bit actually anyway. And FYI, Joan doesn't smell at all, hence the showers, my man. So, yeah, Greg is like, Ed, shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you to make fun of Joan? Who the fuck are you to talk about my mom and what she pays and what she doesn't pay? So, like, mind your business, dude, and worry about your own life. So, moving on. Greg is still selling bread. I tried to buy loaves of bread and cookies from him, and I don't know. Guys, I really don't know what to tell you. Am I on the blacklist that much that cast members aren't allowed to sell me things? It's like, what in the living fuck? Okay. So I tried to order bread from him. I tried to order cookies. I was asking him, how do I send him money? What do we figure out here for delivery and things like that? I was even willing to pay the $40 in delivery. Okay. The delivery would have been more than the cookies and the bread, but I was willing to pay it because I wanted to check out his bread. I wanted to try his cookies, feed them to my family, and see what everybody thought and tell you guys. For someone who's trying to start a bakery, he didn't follow through on the messages. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. He didn't follow through. So either that tells me one, he was told by someone not to sell me bread and cookies, or two, he's not taking this whole bread and cookie thing really seriously. But he posted to his stories that the bread is ready to be packed and delivered on a Sunday. I didn't get any bread, but then we have Joan saying sometimes I think I just look bloated. How do I explain to my homies that I'm not pregnant? It's just American food that's making me gain weight like crazy. Now, I'm going to say this, okay, because we know in the pattern of 90-day people who overly insist that they are not pregnant. Oh no, I'm not pregnant. This is just a burrito. No way. It's American food that's making me fat. Usually, they're pregnant. Thank you, menopausal queen. Yes, I love my nails. I have to thank my nail tech, Olivia, for this. Okay. Olivia at Charlene Nails on Seneca Avenue in Ridgewood. I have to give you a shout out for this because you do extraordinary work for this old lady and her nails. And yes, Natalie, I agree. No bakery, just like he was never offered a state job. Full of shit. If he was offered a state job, and didn't take it, then yes, he is really a dumb fuck. Because New York State jobs are fucking good jobs to have. They pay well, they have great benefits, 401k, the whole nine yards. Like a what the fuck. So yes, I agree with you. So moving on. Stevie and Maddie. Okay. This is very interesting. So first we have Maddie posing with the cat, okay, proving that he has no cat. I mean, not that he has no cat, that him and the cat are friendly, that Stevie didn't get rid of the cat for him, okay, because remember how he was like in Steve Ron, the cats are outside and whatever. So Maddie and the cat coexisting. Now, he says this, and this was right before I went live. So I'm actually reading it in full right now. You're homophobic, in quotes. It's just sad just because you come from a certain part of the world. Some people are so quick to slap a label on everything you say. I've seen the same exact conversations happen between couples on this show and even on other shows where they question each other if they're bi. This is a relationship. Before marriage, you should be able to talk about anything openly and honestly. She's not some random person. She's someone I'm planning a future with. Of course, I need to know. At the same time, I really don't care what other people do in their bedroom. I'm just trying to figure out if I can truly make her happy or she'll need something I simply can't give. I generally have no idea how this works. Asking questions doesn't make you homophobic, it makes you responsible. Okay, so I guess he's referring to the scene from last night's show where he's questioning whether Stevie is bisexual because he realized that Stevie and her friend were in the room together naked. So I sort of agree with him there. Asking your partner questions doesn't make you homophobic. You just want to get to the bottom of it. So, you know what's up with your partner. And your partner should be totally transparent with you. So, yes, I agree with him with that. Now, the second story he slapped up. Someone says, "You're eating pork and drinking alcohol." And he says, "Have I ever said I'm Muslim? I'm not saying I am or I'm not, but being from Iran doesn't automatically make someone Muslim. I've always said in my culture, not in my religion. I don't use or misuse any religion against anyone, and I will never because I lived under a dictatorship that has been doing this for more than 40 years, and I'm not going to do the same. Eating pork or drinking alcohol is personal. It doesn't change how two people love each other. Sexuality does because it's about the core of a relationship, not a menu choice. My whole argument is this true? If it's true, why now?" Okay. I get what he's trying to say. that he never said he was Muslim. If he wants to eat pork or drink alcohol, that's his personal choice. But someone's sexuality is deeper when you're in a relationship with them because, you should know everything about your partner's sexuality. If you're going to marry someone, you should be totally transparent. Just my opinion. So I kind of agree with him on that. So now we have Stevie, who honestly annoys the fuck out of me. I'm just going to say it. She does. So now she took to her stories to clarify a few things. So, first, someone asked her, "What's your type?" And she says, "I connect to the soul first. I'm drawn to deep connections, people who prioritize their health and mind, have goals, and make me feel safe, even from myself. Someone that pushes me to do better and to do what makes me happy. It's just a bonus if they are funny, strong, and speak a second language, especially Persian." And as for the country that she would like to visit, no surprise, Iran. It's a beautiful country. Now, her engagement ring is very pretty. It is very pretty, and it seems to be a square emerald cut. I'm not good with diamond cuts. It's definitely not a round cut. So next, someone asked her, "Are you an introvert or an extrovert?" And she said, "Definitely introverted. I'll force myself out sometimes, but it's not my comfort zone anymore." So now, here's a question that's actually really interesting. Someone asked her, "Do you film with your kids?" And she said, "You won't see them on this season. Maybe a future season. I've chosen to keep them off camera to protect their privacy because let's be honest, the world can be cruel sometimes. They're happy, loved, protected, and completely uninterested in the drama. They've got their own busy little lives and couldn't care less about who said what on TV. I totally respect every parent's choices, but for now, mine are busy creating their own wonderful lives. We will see what the future holds." So, in my opinion, she is saying basically her kids are not going to be on this season, but don't count them out for a future season. Excuse me, guys. So, someone else asked her, um, "Could you be any hotter?" And she says, "Yes, my three sisters. I have three, but they don't do social media or peopling. Is there anything you're scared of? Besides bridges, because they're just one wrong step away from disaster. I'm also terrified of letting people get too close. Plus, I have a fear of abandonment. Basically, I'm a paranoid fortress with emotional drawbridges. I'm secure in myself." I'm sorry, this just kind of like blew my brain out. "People mistake this for insecurity, but I just have a fear of being so vulnerable I can get hurt. My brain says no feelings, no hurt." Okay, I guess I get that. I guess I do. So now, finally, for the whole "why don't she just answer the bisexual question, she says, "I don't owe anyone public explanations about my sexuality. Mahdi has every right to ask me privately, but the timing and the setting didn't feel right, especially while discussing someone I painted professionally. My loyalty is always to the person I'm with. I connect with souls, not labels. People ask why I don't like men. Truth is, I don't like how many of them have acted. If you want to be liked, act better. If you're trying to back me into a corner, keep trying. Mahdi is the only one I owe answers to, and I'm not mad that he asked. I was upset about why and where. I don't like being asked the same thing over and over. Stay tuned to see if he gets his answer. No promises." Sorry, guys, I have this postnasal drip that's been fucking killing me the past couple of days. Allergy season, big time. Holy shit. Okay, so basically, she's saying here that it's not the question, it's the timing of the question. So I get that. I do. I get that. That's a private conversation to have, but you are on a reality show about your relationship. And don't you put everything out there when you're on a reality TV show? Isn't that the whole purpose? Is to have conversations like this in public for reality TV? So why did you sign up for 90 Day Fiance if you didn't want to have these conversations in public? Asking for myself, okay? Because I don't get it. You sign up for a TV show and then you're going to say, I'm not going to answer certain questions because I don't feel like the timing was right. Okay. Anyway, moving on to fucking scripted beyond scripted. I can't even take these two and three anymore. So first we have Amani, okay, which I've seen all over Reddit and all over Facebook that she has a tattoo, which basically is a tattoo. How do I put it? Tattoos that lesbians get, from what I understand. So she had clarified, if I remember, a week or two back, that one of her tattoos, she got it so because she is a ally of the LGBTQ plus community, and we all know that she's bi, obviously. So I don't get the significance of this tattoo, but I've seen the stuff going around, and she clarified it in her stories a couple of weeks ago. But one thing I want clarified is how is her name is pronounced, because like she says, not even her husband could pronounce her name right. Is it Amani? Is it Amini? Like, which one is it? So I don't fucking get it. Yes, yes, Lindsay, I agree. He is a bad actor. Okay. He always has that stupid look on his face. He always looks like he's going to start laughing any second, even in the most serious scenes. He looks like he's going to start laughing any second. Yeah, in particular, in this throuple storyline, he annoys the fuck out of me. Okay. So, they're taking advantage of their 15 minutes on the 90-day train, because they won't be back for a future season. This whole throuple thing is going to fall apart. I mean, Ani is not coming to the States. They are not divorcing to bring her to the States on the K1 visa. We all know this is bullshit scripted just for all three of them to get exposure. And I'm sure Amani was the one that thought of the storyline and said, hey, let's, write to 90 Day Fiance casting and get us on, because they're going to fucking love this, because instead of the Learning Channel, it's the Lurid Channel. So, yeah. So, I just saw a comment I want to put up. Yes, Matt needs a dunce cap. Absolutely, Stephanie. I totally agree. So, moving on, the kids are cute. Yeah, they are. The kids are really, really cute. And I'm really sorry that their parents are on TV doing this, because they could probably Google this 10 years from now and watch the episodes. And yes, so that's one thing I'm always think about the kids with with these reality TV people. I always think about, their young kids and what they're going to think when they get older and realize that their mom was on reality TV and so were they. And I don't know. So, Ani, like I said, we know she's still in Mexico working at the strip club. Okay. No one was getting a divorce to bring her to the States. All bullshit. So, moving on. Speaking of bullshit, I'm going to have a major bullshit attack in a minute. Shekinah and Sarper. Okay. So, first of all, Shekinah posted this to her story before last night's episode. And she says, you know what really sucks? Being told what matters to you isn't important. Being ignored when you're hurt, sick, emotional. Feeling alone because your partner is always checked out. Being blamed for everything. Feeling like you're a burden, embarrassing, or stupid. Trying your hardest to make someone feel loved and yet being made to feel like it's never enough. Feeling deeply unhappy and trying to express that to your partner only to be shut down and silenced. Never being able to have mature conversations. one sided effort at conflict resolution, being told if you get too skinny or fat, I will leave you, feeling like there's a never right time or right way to bring up something that's bothering you. I'm like, okay. Last week, she was scolding the fans for judging Sarper too harshly in the beginning of their seasons. And now everyone's loving Sarper. And now this week, she is putting out what seems to me like a checklist for the therapist for Last Resort season 3. So then she took to her stories, okay? And first she posted this. Don't leave your coffee alone for too long and then wonder why it's cold. I'm not talking about coffee. Then she shows off her spray tan. Okay. Then she does a question and answer session. And this is another one that I captured right before I went live. So now check this out. So first someone asked her, do you ever feel like you're in competition with your sisters? And she said, oh my God, never. We are all very secure women with a lot of independence, high value, and individual beauty, and we know it. I can't think of a single time that any of us ever showed a competitive side. We all want each other to do well, and we all are attracted to very different types of people. So someone else asked her, what would you be doing if you weren't doing filming 90 Day Fiance? Exactly what I'm already doing every day, working as a statistician. My work account, and she puts it up there. So then someone said, why did you say in last night's episode that you just had come home from working all day? So she says, because I do mentoring at med spas and derm offices, have me come in and work with their statisticians to build protocols or learn how to use new equipment. That particular day, I have been working in a med spa at Tukwila Lake. Thank you for clarifying that, Shekinah, because I was confused as fuck. I was like, what is she talking about? So someone else says, I thought you work from home. And she said, exactly. Well, I have a live workspace zoned for commercial and residential. It's a licensed establishment and I've had inspection and it's up to code. There's a separate bathroom for clients and a separate entrance. You can't see the whole place on the show. Now, this is the first time I've ever heard of this, and I'm going to call bullshit on this one. Does the TV show provide counselors or therapists? Well, actually, they do. I think we get 12 sessions per season. Now, you guys know I talk to a lot of cast members, both 90 Day and Love After Lockup. I have never heard of them providing counseling unless they just started doing in the last season or so. Never providing counseling or therapy for any of the cast members except for Renee. Okay? Except for Renee when they were fearing that she was going to hurt herself, production, or Chidi, they had a therapist step in to have a Zoom call with her. As I covered in both my interviews with Chidi and Renee, if you haven't checked them out, please do. That is the only time I have ever heard of TLC stepping in with mental health services for their cast members during filming, after filming. After filming, they don't give a fuck about you. Let's just put it out there. They just don't give a fuck about you. If they are done with you, if you're one of those one and done couples or people, side cast members, they don't give a shit about you. So Shekinah saying this, I call bullshit unless it started happening very, very recently. Okay, so anyway, so she goes on to clarify that they did have two dogs. One passed away. So I'm like, oh, okay. So now someone asked her, has Sarper calmed down since calm down has he been with you in the US? You deserve the best. And she says, nope, living here together in the US has made everything harder. And thank you, I think so too. So someone says, are you and Sarper okay? I'm so invested. And she says, nothing about this is easy. So someone else asked her, you said you can't cook in your kitchen, but last night you told Sarper you cooked him dinner. Yep, I made a lot of changes for him starting immediately when he arrived. You'll see some of the changes this season, but most weren't covered in filming. It was literally adjusting things in my life every day to make him happy and comfortable and cohabitat with someone, which is something I haven't done in a long time. I'm telling you guys, that sounds like a fucking setup for Last Resort season 3. Okay? So moving on, someone asked her, "Are you going through a rough patch with Sarper? Let's just say you probably won't see us on any more seasons." Now, I call bullshit on that. I definitely call bullshit on that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I call bullshit. So someone else asked, "Are you happy at this point of your life?" And she replies, "I never thought my life would come to this point. So no." Moving on, someone asked her, "How close in age are you and your sisters? You're all so beautiful." And she says, "We are 2.5 years apart." So finally, someone asked her, "What is one thing you wish you can change with a snap of your fingers right now?" "I wish I had a happy, healthy, happy relationship with Sarper. I wish I lived in Miami. I wish I had a baby goat and $10 million." So, what do you guys think? Are they really, really having problems? Or is she just putting bullshit out there as a setup for happily ever after, segue into Last Resort? I really do not see these two not coming back. They love the limelight way too much to not come back for future seasons. And I don't know, something just feels in my gut bullshit. Bullshit. But we shall see. We shall see. So now moving on to Mina and Mark. Mina posting up throwback pictures of baby Maria and her son Clayton. I really want to know why Clayton hasn't been able to get his passport by now. Is it because the dad refuses to sign the paperwork to let him come over here to the States? Um, we don't know much about Clayton's. We don't know anything about Clayton's dad. So is it that the dad's not around and she can't find him to sign paperwork so Clayton could get a passport? Um, I don't know, but as far as I can tell, these seemed like all throwback pictures. Okay, and Clayton is still not here. So now, moving on, Mary Pants did a post about Jade and Mina's meeting with Jade, and Jade was quick to jump in the comments to clarify some things. If you haven't checked out the post on Mary Pants' page, please do. So she is replying to a comment, and she says, let me be very clear. I didn't end up with Mark because I didn't want to end up with Mark. I was 25 to 26 years old. You think I was going to let myself get locked down by Mark, who was much older? Hells no. Just like Mina said in the car, Mark didn't propose to me because he knew I would never accept. She didn't even meet me yet, and she knew that much about me. And she was spot on. No disrespect to Mark because he's not a bad guy and we don't have any bad blood. I just didn't like him enough to continue the relationship. Ouch. Also, we only dated for like 8 months 10 years ago. I don't even consider that short time a real relationship. Personally, I think his ex wife should have been asked to meet with Mina, not me. Our relationship just wasn't serious enough for that. But nonetheless, I did the meetup. I like Mina a lot. She is welcome to hang out with Diana and I in Florida anytime. I'm glad he found his person. I think Mina really do love him, and that's all that matters. We are happy for them both. Hashtag love wins. So that's nice of Jade. And yeah, uh, Sharp Entertainment, we would have rather seen Mark's ex-wife than someone he had such a short relationship with. She was only with him for 8 months, like 10 years ago. Anyway, so moving on. Jessica and Juan, the vanilla couple of 90 Day this season. They did like a meet and greet at a bar in I'm in their town, so there you go. And the boys, they're adorable. Cute kids are always a plus. So now moving on. Gino. First of all, a little bit of tea here. A little bit of tea. Okay, so this comment is from Twitter. Give me 1 second. I just lost my place, of course. And someone said, I was in Silver Spring, a DC suburb, and wandered past them filming an upcoming episode of 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life. Gino was adding some of his own lines, but the director and crew kept guiding him back to a specific dialogue because they were aiming to create an argument scene with his new girlfriend outside the grocery store. And here is his quote unquote new girlfriend that he will be appearing with on The Single Life. I will give you guys a little bit of tea. Her name is Natalie, and she is from Vegas. They are not together right now. They were together just for filming Single Life. She is the chick in the clip that I have shown you guys repeatedly of Jasmine and Matt filming a scene, and she comes rushing in a bar and she's screaming, she's a whore! She's a whore! And everyone's like cheering, and it's like this whole fucking scene, and then they're like, Gino, Gino. That's the chick in the clip, okay? So remember where you heard it first, and remember where you saw it first. Now, I have some throwback pictures. Okay, if you guys checked out my interview with Uncle Marco and Gino's sister Lisa, they both were telling me that Gino's mom died when he was really, really young. Okay, and I believe this has a great effect on his relationship with women. So Uncle Marco so kindly sent me some pictures from his wedding. Okay, first of all, this little boy standing in the front with the bow haircut, and the lighter shirt, not the kid in the darker shirt, the kid in the lighter shirt with that bow haircut is Gino with hair. He's about 6 or 7 in this picture. Then in the next picture, the woman in the red is Gino's mom. And apparently, this is one of the last pictures of her alive before she passed from cancer. And the man standing next to her is Gino's dad, Uncle Marco's brother. So Uncle Marco sent me these pictures. He was cleaning out his attic or whatever and ran into his wedding album and said, oh shit. And he decided to send me some pictures. I am so happy. Thank you, Uncle Marco, so much. And guess what? Uncle Marco went bowling the other night and he ran into Flavor Flav at the bowling alley. So he sent me this too. So thank you, Uncle Marco, for the pics. He said that Flavor Flav was so cool. They had a whole conversation. He is such a nice guy. I could totally see that. And yeah, so there you go. Uncle Marco hanging out with Flavor Flav at the bowling alley. So now moving on, of course, Jazzy, because she's still posting pictures. Don't get me wrong, this baby is beautiful. Maddie is beautiful, but I'm getting sick and tired of seeing her. And I bet you she is going to be so sick of a camera by the time she's 1 year old. Every time her mom points the phone at her, she's going to like slap it out of her mother's hand. Her mother constantly has the phone in her face, doing videos, taking pictures of her. Like, uh, it's like every 5 minutes. I get it. You're a proud new mom. Yeah, you're trying to act like you're the best mom. Besides that, you have 2 boys back in Panama that you claim as your sons. One is actually your stepson, but that's okay. And yeah, I get it, but anyway. So she also posted this to her story. I've always been honest. At this point, I don't love neither Gino or Matt. I just want to be alone and be left alone. Is she talking about now? Like now? Because I call bullshit, and I'm going to show you in a second. Or is she talking about at the time, at the tell all, when she was being confronted and Matt was on the screen and Gino was yelling at Matt and Matt was yelling at Rob? I still call bullshit, okay? If she's referring to either scenario, because we know she doesn't love Gino and she may not truly love Matt, okay? She may be using Matt in her own way, but there is love there, okay? I'm going to show you in a second. So, like I said, there's always a camera in this baby's face. Okay. And of course, Matt has to jump on his 15 minutes of fame. So let me just share with you guys these videos. First of all, this is from Matt. Okay. And he is such a punk. I'm just going to say it. He is a punk.
Heart goes to all the.
Okay, actually, sorry, you guys, the clips are in the wrong order. We have Jasmine taking a walk in her neighborhood, and of course, she takes the opportunity to bash Gino. Check this out. Oh, there's always an opportunity to bash Gino. You could ask her how's the weather, and she'll take it into an opportunity to bash Gino.
The new moms, new moms for the first, second, third time, having a newborn, and that are currently dealing with postpartum depression. It's, I get it. It's so hard. So many changes, like in your body, in your life, and it's very overwhelming. It's not easy. But, like my daughter, she has brought so much happiness in her life. I think that I had the 2 last years, I was so freaking miserable ever since I moved to Michigan and I had the life that I had, that, it's all happiness now. Even though I'm sleep deprived, I'm struggling with my body image because, my life and body looks so different now and all the challenges. But every time I open my eyes and I wake up and I look at the life that I have now, and I remember, what it was like sleeping on a sofa, being neglected, loved, feeling so freaking lonely, miserable, dead in the inside, and rejected constantly, like the list goes on. I am nothing but happy, like so freaking happy, blessed, and thankful right now.
So there you go.
I wanna love you.
I have to mute the music. But look at these two lovebirds. I mean, Jazzy just takes every opportunity she can. My opinion.
She's sleepy. I know. She does like that. So cute.
Look at the lovebirds. So she can claim that she doesn't love him. It was she doesn't love him. She doesn't love Gino. She just wants to be left alone. Okay, you got it. Whatever you say, Jazzy. Just like Sophie. Sophie's another one that gets on my last fucking nerve. Okay. So, her and Kay threw out those heavy accusations against Rob, which also Jazzy used against him. She posted to her story and all that bullshit that I covered in my other videos. So now Sophie's out here all like, hee. When my friends find out on the tell all that I was still sleeping with my ex after I told him that I stopped talking to him, like, girl, come on, please. Okay, I know you're only 24, but stop acting like a fucking child already. You're an adult. There's adult life consequences. And, you were sleeping with Rob up until a month or so before the tell all. And then you and Kay are out there talking about him being a gay prostitute. Yeah, okay. And then you're all like, yeah, my ass. Rob is out here, he's flying around, he's filming something. Okay, so we shall see what's up with that. So, like I said, Kay was there to back up Sophie to spill, the tea about Rob being a gay prostitute. And then she was also around to spill the tea on Jamal on her stories, okay? She put up a clip from Pillow Talk that she was tagged in. And Jamal was basically implying that Kay needs to mind her own business. And she turns around and says, now, Jamal, I know you aren't talking shit because aren't you the same Jamal who was sliding into Sophie's DMs telling her Rob is a piece of shit and trying to fly her out to see you a while back? I'm starting to think the only way to be in 90 Day Bad Boys if you ever liked or slid into Sophie's DMs. Now they are both his besties. Weird. Okay, I kind of agree with you on that. That how his two besties both slid into Sophie's DMs and tried to hit on her while she was still married to Rob. So yeah, that's kind of weird. And leave it to Kay to spill that tea. So moving on. Um, Josh didn't get to take Sophie to Vegas. Rob didn't get to take Sophie to Vegas, but Kay got to take Sophie to Vegas. And they did a whole bunch of things, including going to a male strip club show where Sophie was brought up on stage. I covered that in my last video. And they got to go dirt bike riding and, visit things in the desert of Vegas. So Kay was the one in the end to take Sophie to Vegas. So now moving on, speaking of Sophie, her mom Claire posted today and she says, after my last post of being happy, discussing my year battle with depression, and posting my happy day, I wanted to say if I haven't replied to some of the DMs expressing that you're depressed and have no one to talk to or tell, please don't think you've been ignored. Unfortunately, 2 days later, my depression took a turn for the worse. I was admitted to a crisis house. The support there was amazing. I'm feeling much better now and excited to try new things. Just had my first guitar lesson. Here's to healing and new beginnings. By the way, what I learned by being at this house that depression does not discriminate. There was a lot of professional people that had everything in life, and young people, old people, depression is an illness. Be kind. If the house was beautiful. This has made me very scared, but I refuse to live in fear of depression, but I will give it the respect it deserves. I'm wishing Claire the best in her battle with mental health and depression. I really hope this crisis house helps her, gives her the help that she needs, and she follows through with the help that she needs, whether it be medication, weekly therapy, combination of both, that she actually follows through for her mental health. Moving on, Natalie and Josh. This is Natalie post surgery, guys. Okay, 10 weeks after her lipo 360. And here's Josh taking his mirror selfie. Darcy is motherfucking delusional. Oh my God, is she fucking delusional? So look at this, okay? Before surgery, yeah, she looked horrible before surgery, but now she thinks the after is any better. She just needs to fucking stop. That's all I'm saying. She just needs to stop. And are her and Georgie fighting again? Because then she posts this. God told me get away from G. Are they fighting again? Or is this just like a prelude to something else? Are they going to be on Last Resort season 3? Like, anyway. So moving on, we have a new 90-day spinoff coming up. The Hunt for Love. I've been calling this the 90-day Mexico house because I had no idea what the hell they were going to name this fucking thing. So it is premiering Monday, May 26th, which I'm assuming is after 90 Day Diaries airs all of their episodes. So yeah, are you guys ready for some spoilers? So first of all, let me go back for a second. I agree. Why did Natalie get a lipo 360? Y'all don't say. I have no fucking clue, but she did it. So anyway, so first of all, Jennifer, Tim's ex Jennifer, well, her and Rob get it on in the pool, allegedly. Okay, allegedly, Usman and Courtney hook up briefly, and Courtney breaks up with him and makes him cry. Allegedly. Allegedly, Colty broke his leg, the same leg as when he was filming with Vanessa for Last Resort season 1. You see, he was supposed to be on there with Vanessa, not Molly and Kelly. No, 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 no. Molly and Kelly were the replacement couple. Oh yes, and Kelly has spoke about that many times. They were the replacement couple for Colty and Vanessa, who were actually filming Last Resort season 1, and he was jumping on a trampoline and he's broke his leg. Vanessa was very pissed off on how TLC treated Colt when it came to health insurance and things like that. They were treating him like he was an independent contractor and not an actual employee of Sharp Entertainment, allegedly. They refused to help pay for any of his medical expenses, allegedly. So Vanessa was really pissed off about that and wanted nothing to do with TLC, wanted nothing to do with 90 Day. And allegedly, Colt did, and that was why their marriage broke up. Word on the street. So anyway, he was allegedly drinking and slipped and fell and broke the same leg. So this is him that's being loaded into the ambulance. And allegedly, after filming wrapped, because this happened towards the end of filming, Colty went to Florida to stay with Courtney and her parents so Courtney can help him recover. Allegedly. So remember where you all heard this first. So now moving on, the people that are going to be on the show, it includes Chantel, Soulja Boy, Rob, Tim, Tiffany, remember Tiffany, Colty, Jennifer. So these are the people that are going to be on the show from 90 Day, and they're going to throw like assorted other people, singles into the mix. We see Tiffany hooking up with some random guy in the trailer. We see Chantel hooking up with some random guy. So like there's just like randoms that are also thrown in here. So this is going to be interesting, and we're going to see how thirsty these randoms are going to be once this show starts airing. That's what I'm interested in. So Tiffany posted to her stories. Tiffany is always weird on her stories. I'm sorry. And her and Ronald are officially divorced. And this is him with his fiance. Okay. So they're officially divorced. And Chantel is already taking full advantage of this. Okay. This is not going to air for another month. And Chantel is already on the ball with her website and selling merch. Okay. So if you guys want a $31 t shirt from Chantel that says, I'm not wearing any panties or Team Chantel, you can find them on her website. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, flashback picture of Pedro when he was 28. I don't think there's much of a difference now, but hey, could someone help me, please? Okay. After I did my last Oy vey, Angela is a scammer, how she allegedly scammed someone out of $50. Like, are you fucking kidding me? She got a hotel room, snacks, cigarettes, soda, and $50 out of this guy, Ryan, and then basically tells him to fuck off and sue her for the $50. Yeah, Angela's getting that bad. And as I reported in my last video, allegedly, Ryan had her in his car for 4 hours, and she did nothing but talk about Mako, how horrible all Nigeria was, and apparently me. Like Ryan said, I am the bane of her being, which blew my fucking mind. I'm like, wow, she really has a mental disorder. So now this just confirms to me that she has a mental disorder. And thank goodness Michael got away from her when he did. So I'm going to share her last 2 TikToks after I did my Oy vey about her scamming a dude out of $50. I have to mute the music in the beginning of the first one, and then I'll play when she starts talking. Yeah, so she has like some bullshit music. Like, don't ask me what the fuck this is.
That wasn't me. Don't tell nobody. That wasn't me. Okay, it was me. Now I'm going to be on Kibbles and Bits and Goop.
So I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? Can someone translate this for me?
and kings, listen, there's another person out there spreading rumors. And then, of course, there's that one blogger that can't make money off nobody else, but they're only the queen of reality. So
I don't mean to interrupt you, Angela, but what is that stain underneath your eyebrow? Do you guys see that? Let me blow it up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna warn you. You may need some eye bleach, but let me blow this up for you guys. What is up with that stain underneath her left eyebrow? Like, what in the fuck is going on? So, yeah, let her continue babbling here about kibbles and bits.
So, I give it to her. But guess what? She says that all I did, this person said, was talk about my ex. A bitch. I don't have an ex. I have a future. What?
Can someone translate that for me? I don't speak Angela. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. She is going to have an ex once their divorce goes through. Like, and she needs to stop calling Michael a bitch. Just saying. She's really pissing me off. So now, unfortunately, I have to agree with her on this. Okay, this is her latest TikTok.
Hi, queens and kings. I just want to bring something to y'all's attention. I want to thank even the people here that don't like me on TikTok. They have a little, I don't know, a little bit of compassion. So you see the TikTok of my granddaughter. I thought she did great. All of y'all thought she did great, and the people that don't, they kept it to themselves. She's only 9 years old, okay? To the Instagrammers out there that come on my page to cut me down, I can take that. When you come out to my granddaughter and talk about her belly, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just a little info for you. God bless you, because she has a kidney disease like her mom. And what kind of person goes around cutting down kids anyway? Crown of thought. Do better. Do better. That kid hasn't done that to you. And I ain't either, but I can take it. She's a child. Just do better. We love you. God bless.
Okay, I agree with her on that. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with her 10-year-old granddaughter being on TikTok. But we all know that young kids are on TikTok. And even though the minute you're supposed to be 13 or older, we all know that there's 10, 11, 12-year-olds on TikTok. So yes, I agree with that. Adults should not be making fun of a young child. No matter if that child's Mima is Angela Deem or not, I don't give a fuck. She is a 10-year-old. She can't help it that her Mima is Angela Deem. So no one should be making fun of her appearance or anything like that. So that is one thing that I do agree with Angela with. I don't know if I'm going to have lightning strike me right now, but yeah, kids are off limits, even though they shouldn't be on TikTok, but they're off limits. So moving on, Michael is living his best life though. He went to Tampa, okay, and he had the time of his life. And listen, I agree. He should be living his best life after all the shit that he went through with Angela. So here's a little compilation of Michael living his best life in Tampa. That's right, Michael living it up. And he should live it up. He should try everything. He should visit every state he can. It was a quick weekend. He went to go visit some friends in Tampa, from what I understand. And yeah, he is living it up, and he should. I mean, the guy went through so much shit with Angela. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Sarah Fraser. She put out the police report from the tasing incident that I talked about with Kelly and Cynthia many times, but then I laid off on the subject for a bit because I couldn't get a police report. The only way I could request a police report is either by having Michael or Angela do it. And Angela wasn't going to do it. And at the time, Michael told me that there was no report. There was nothing to request, that the police just came out and left. Well, Sarah Fraser has the whole police report with the detective statements and everything. I'm going to put the link in my description. You guys need to go check that out. But you know that I've been talking about that since last year when he first left, because his friend Austin, who has also appeared on here, talked about it too. He told me about that in one of our first conversations. Okay, that Angela and Michael were staying in a hotel in Los Angeles. It turns out to be the Pasadena area. It was a Courtyard Marriott. I knew that also. And they got into a fight at 2:30 in the morning, and Angela decided to taser him twice. So Sarah Fraser got the report. Kudos to her for getting the report. I couldn't get it for whatever reasons at the time, but I'm glad it's out there, because honestly, it shows Michael's state of mind, because this happened in January of 2004, and we all know he ran for his life the next month. So, this really brings his state of mind into play, and I'm glad that the report is out there. I am. I'm glad that the report is out there. Yes, I hope he gets to be on Single Life. That will be the ultimate to Angela, having him on Single Life. And I hope I can manifest that for him. Yes, he needs to get divorced, and then they need to put him on Single Life. That would be the fucking greatest thing to me. So, like I said, he's living his best life. He plays soccer. He's on a winning team, and he's supporting his fellow Nigerian, sharing Chidi's book. Forget it. Like, Angela is a way memory. He's just waiting to get divorced. So now moving on, Annie looks fucking fantastic. Her hair, her body. You go, girl. Yara, like I reported in my last video, she is an official U.S. citizen, so she can get a U.S. passport. So she was showing how her passport picture now that she got is so much better than her Ukrainian passport picture, that she gets questioned all the time with her Ukrainian passport. I guess all the surgeries, it doesn't look like her. I don't know. So I'm just wondering what Kim is whispering in her ear. Maybe that her bestie is on the offender list. I don't know. I can't say what she's whispering in Yora's ear, but Yora's expression kind of fits it. I don't know. Just saying. So anyway, David and Annie. See, Annie and David, they do it right. They'll post a picture of the baby, each one of them, 1 to 2 times a day. Unlike Jasmine, who's doing it every fucking 5 minutes. It's like, ugh, gosh. Okay, so moving on. Julian, you need to come and get your mother. Okay, and I'm going to explain this in a second. Check this out. This is Debbie. Okay, as in, crazy Debbie. Julian, come and get your
A
mom.
master in manipulation, corrupting many generations. Get your brain right out of my earshot. I got my own giddy up, because I got lore and I got chat. But I don't got no bread, no cheese, no dough to get myself snatched. I'm yassified, sassified, too satisfied. We all just doom scrolling in the gator swamp, sipping on moonshine, spilling all the sweet tea. You want to come take a big bite of me? Well, you best check your ID. Mind your mouth, because we fight shade with shine.
Okay. Julian, please come and get your mom. That's all I'm saying. Okay, please. We know that she's lost her mind a long time ago. I saw this and I was fucking cracking up. I'm like, is it because I'm stoned? Is it because she's fucking crazy? But Julian, you need to come and get your mother, please. Okay? So before I let you guys go, just a couple of miscellaneous updates. Sinjin took to the gram to let everybody know, yes, he has a job. He's been having a job. He's a landscaper. And did you know Sinjin's girlfriend or fiance, whoever she is Natalie's bestie? Yeah, they go out all the time. So Nicole is killing off her whole family with her clickbait stories. First is Azon, then it's pray for her daughter. You guys know it's all clickbait. Okay, Nicole has basically sold all of her social media platforms to a clickbait company who post these things to her social media, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, and then you click click on the link in bio and it takes you to this article about celebrities who died in 2024. So when you see this, do not get alarmed. Nothing is wrong with May. Azon is still alive. It's just Nicole selling her social media profiles for pennies. So moving on, Amber from Love in Paradise, 3 weeks to go and counting, is in the hospital. I hope everything is okay. Maybe she's going into labor. She says, I'm in the hospital, but not for broken ankles. So I'll keep you guys updated about Amber. Kalani's children. She makes beautiful kids. I'm going to say this for like the 100th time. I know I sound like a broken record. She makes beautiful kids. Guillermo and Nico hanging out. And I'm sorry, it looks like Guillermo hangs out with Nico more than Kara hangs out with Nico. But it could be, the visitation schedule. I don't want to make a judgment, but I just see more pictures of Nico hanging out with Guillermo than with his mom. Okay, that's my opinion. Shida and Palau reenacting this famous statue. Very cute. I'm sure she made a whole YouTube, TikTok video about it because she's a mommy influencer like Jasmine's trying to be. If you guys remember from the last season of 90 Day UK, if you watched that, Chef John with Sprite, while Chef John is trying to get the attention of Lady Gaga, who will be apparently touring in London really soon, he wants to be her personal chef. So he's going to dance in public every day until he gets her attention. So every time I see one of his stories, I forward it to Lady Gaga. Okay, is Kara divorced? Good question. I believe that her and Guillermo are separated, going through a divorce right now, but not officially divorced. Neither one are wearing their wedding rings, but neither one had publicly stated anything. And I believe that this is going to play out on 90 Day Diaries because they're leaving some of these storylines open-ended. And like, for example, with Elizabeth and Andre talking about moving to Moldova, the way that they ended it, we already seen a preview of Elizabeth telling her dad and her sisters that they're planning on moving to Moldova. So I believe a lot of the open-ended storylines that where we're like, what? You're just going to leave it like that? They're going to pick up and continue it. Okay, so that's just my opinion. So I think it's going to play out on 90 Day Diaries because neither one of them has said a fucking word to me, NDA. So, moving on. Speaking of 90 Day UK, this is Richard from the first season. And he is basically warning everybody that going on reality TV as a villain is going to ruin your life. Now, we all know the show is scripted. We all know that they like to twist things in a certain way. But we also know that when someone's an asshole or someone's a creep, it's going to shine through no matter what. For example, Lauren, okay? Gonorrhea boy Lauren. Oh, his creepiness shined through. Kyle Gordy, serial sperm donor on Love in Paradise. I couldn't even watch his scenes. He was so fucking creepy. Richard, he's another one. Creepster with a capital C. It just comes through no matter what. So, dude, I feel for you because he's trying to apply for jobs. They do a social media check and then they say, fuck no. Well, maybe you should have thought about this before you decided to sign up for reality TV. And honestly, okay, say you were portrayed the villain. You played it really well because you are a real dick, from what I remember. Just saying, dude. So, moving on. We have Emily, who her kids are just too adorable. She wants to go back to Disney. I don't blame her. And like you guys know, she has her own house now, no longer in her parents' basement. And she's doing all sorts of projects. She's always painting something, fixing something, planting something. So here's her ferns, and she wants to know if these are too many ferns. I kind of think so, but hey, I'm not the one that's taking care of them. So moving on, I don't know. This whole thing to me is weird. Back in January, Lita was arrested for DV and animal cruelty charges, and now she just keeps posting this big happy family pictures. You know, she's pregnant, she's happy. Just a couple of months ago, she was saying that she wanted to go back home, she wanted to take her son, she hated Eric, she hated her life, and now everything is hunky dory. Okay. And we have Magda with her cat in public. We have Eve and her son. Look how big he is. You remember how young he was when she was on 90 Day? He's like a teenager now. Ziad. We haven't seen him in a year on social media. And now that he was on 90 Day Diaries, he's like posting to his story every day selfies of him in the car. And if Elizabeth's sister Jen is going to wind up coming back, because you know that Jen and Josh are going to be on a future season of Single Life. I see that in my 90-day crystal ball. Okay. They are going to be on a future season of Single Life. Just Natalie. And of course, Josh and Jen have to ride the 90-day train. It's their turn. So here is Elizabeth's brother. Do you remember him? Charlie, when they were in Moldova at the Moldovan wedding. Remember the famous drunken speech? Yeah. And we have Clayton, who we are going to see on 90 Day Diaries doing stand-up comedy. I'm looking forward to this. So, moving on. Tiger Silly thinks that we won a cameo confidential from her. Okay, so check it out. This is what she posted. Hey guys, I'm doing something a little new, a little fun, a little savage, and a lot unfiltered. Come closer. Cameo Confidential with Tiger Lily. Think of it like an advice column. If the columnist wore heels to breakfast and kept your name out of it. How it works. You send a story. No names, no faces, just the facts. I reply with the truth. Elegant, unbothered, maybe a little savage. You stay anonymous. I stay unfiltered. No thank you, Tiger Silly. Example submission. He ghosted me for 3 weeks and then watched every story. What now? My response, a 60+ second video with the advice you actually need. Want in? Drop your story in my cameo request. No details too messy. No judgment here. It's private, it's polished. It's for the girls who already know better but just wanted someone to say it. Cameo confidential. I agree. Who the fuck would want her advice on anything? Especially since she married this dude. Okay? Who the fuck would want her advice on anything? Go away, Tiger Silly, please. And finally, we have all three of Lauren and Alex's kids jumping on mommy, ganging up on her, the way of roughhousing with the boys, and her daughter really should. Okay, you gotta love it. So, moving on. Yeah, good question. Would she be covered in the burqa during her videos? Yeah, good question. So, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging in with me tonight. I know tonight was kind of a long one. Please subscribe if you don't already. Double check that you are subscribed, because YouTube likes to fucking play games and they will unsubscribe you. Thank you, everyone in my live chat. I love you all. Thank you, Menopausal Queen, for always being here as my moderator. You're my bouncer. I was just explaining that to my husband before. Please like, share with a friend or 10, comment if you're watching the replay, and please consider joining my membership. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.